Hello and welcome to our special program, To The Point. The NDA government, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has completed 1 year in power. There have been several claims and counterclaims from both the government and the opposition about the achievements of this government in the past 1 year and the misses as well. Today we have with us senior leader of Trinamool Congress, who is also the national chief spokesperson and leader of the party in the upper house, Mr. Derek O'Brien, to have a conversation on this. Welcome to the show and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. Let's straight away begin with the very generic question, but an important one as well. As a senior leader of the party, TMC, which has been very vocal about several issues both inside the house and outside the house, and a leader of the party in the upper house as well, what is your assessment and your party's assessment of NDA government's first year in power?
See, journalists make assessments, analysts make assessments, politicians believe in how people react to situations. So let's make a few comments on what we thought was the last year.
Okay.
I think we had in the UPA too, we had MMS. In NDA also there's an MMS, but that's not Manmohan Singh. This MMS is Media Management Sarkar. So they've done extremely well with media management, and we have to credit them for that. Then if you come into, there's been a lot of hype. And in fact, as I once said on the floor of the House, they've been very good at HM, which is headline management. I didn't say it, somebody else said it. And not so good in fiscal management. If you look at the basic social parameters, you have to ask some really hard questions. How have the budgets been cut? If you look at school education, it's been cut by 17%. Environment and forest has been cut by 11%. Water resources budget has been cut by 40%. All across the board, these budgets have been cut. So a lot of hype and promises made at the multi-billion-dollar advertising campaign. But what is the reality on the ground? I think that even if you ask people in the government, deep down they know they haven't delivered anything on the ground.
But the claims...
But I think the more important thing is not what I say or what anybody else says. You look at the elections which have been held across so many states since 2014, because eventually that's the barometer. And if you look at the elections, in Bengal they gave so much of big talk. In UP they were giving some big talk. In Bengal, they got wiped out in the municipalities. We had 92 municipalities when Trinamool won close to 80. We are now running. Congress came second. Congress came second and third with CPM. BJP got how many out of the 92 municipalities? 0. So we can sit in the Delhi studios, especially in some of the private television studios, and we can discuss. I stayed away from all the television studios because this is like a tamasha. But eventually is how have they done in the elections? Now Bihar is coming in September, October. How will they do there? After that, Bengal, they know how they will do. They will do very, very badly. So the eventual barometer of how you've done is how people are going to vote for you or not vote for you. And my understanding is, the Trinamool's understanding is, that the BJP is going to be rejected when it comes to elections.
Okay, you said two things important out here. One is that the barometer of gauging as to how the government in the power has done is by the results of the various elections which it goes through, be it at the municipal level or state assembly level. Well, they have done. They've not done well. That's true. You also said that there has been a cut in several sectors in the budget. But in their list of achievements, which has been put out for almost a week or so now, both in print and electronic and in social media as well, one core area where they say the emphasis has been is on the social sector. There are several schemes which the government says they have launched. There are two or three insurance and pension schemes which are going to give benefit to the poor people. A lot of effort has been made. So do you still believe that these schemes are not going to deliver for them?
No, let me give you some hard numbers, because I don't want to give you faff. Let me give you the facts. 1 out of every 3 children in the 8 crore children who go for under the ICDS scheme, 1 out of those 3 children are malnourished. Now, why do you go and cut a ICDS budget by 50%? This is one number. Number 2, in those Jan Dhan Yojana accounts, 70-80% of those accounts are khali, zero accounts. Number 3, you're talking about a Swachh Bharat. Swachh Bharat, how much have you spent on your advertising campaign? 250 crores. These are numbers. You come to Nadia district in Bengal, UN gave it the global award for setting up 350,000 toilets. Right? So I can carry on your show and keep giving you all these examples of what was supposed to be done, what other states have done. Let's talk one quick example. Let's talk about Kanya Shri. Kanya Shri is to socially empower these young girls and to delay the marriageable age. Look at this figure. National government, central government budget for Kanya Shri for the entire year is 100 crores. How much of that will go to advertising? Bengal, one state, 1,000 crores for our Kanya Shri, which is, we call it in Bengal Kanya Shri. In the central government, they call it Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. Can you imagine 100 crores for the whole country and Bengal does one for 900 crores? You talked about a bullet train. What is the cost of a bullet train today from Bombay to Ahmedabad? 90,000 crores is the estimated cost. What have you allocated in this budget? 100 crores. What is the status? Feasibility report. See, you can make a lot of advertising promises.
Okay.
At the end of it all, the product has to deliver. And whether it comes to Bengal or a couple of other states where those chief ministers have delivered, that's why you'll see the results. This is all faff.
You're saying that these social security programs, which the government says that it has launched, those have not delivered and those are not going to deliver. That should be the cause of concern for the government. Is that what?
See, let's even talk about the 100-day scheme, 100 days. See, there's a whole range of issues. And I think what people are expecting from this government is that they have to deliver on these issues. Take black money is another case in point. All this big talk about black money, and eventually what has happened about black money? One bill has been brought in Parliament and it got passed, which is a toothless bill. So there is a lot, and in all this, they have been given a gift, and good luck to them for that gift. The international oil prices have come down by like half, from 120 to about 60 a barrel. So all this put together, and I'm only talking about the social indicators. Now you come to the social fabric of the country. You know, whether you can eat one meat, you can't eat another meat. Here there is an issue on conversions. The minorities are feeling, unsafe. And there are these tokenism which is happening. There are 3, 4, 5 members of parliament who are shooting their mouth off. In fact, are they the mainstream? Because some people say, no, they're not the mainstream. They are the wild elements.
The fringe elements.
The fringe elements. Now, when the fringe becomes the mainstream, then it's a problem.
And
just calling journalists in Delhi for dinner parties at a certain minister's place, and the Prime Minister will then sit down and then, see, this is the real world. This is the real world. This is not the Chief Minister world. This is the world of Delhi. And I think the media, in their euphoria of an anniversary, in fact, it's very interesting on a lighter note. If it's a silver wedding anniversary, it's 25 years. Golden is 50 years. Paper is first year. So this is one paper, literally, it's a paper anniversary. Because the tradition is somebody is married for 1 year or has the first anniversary, you give paper. So this government also is celebrating its paper anniversary. All paperwork, all talk, no go.
So what you're saying is that specifically with respect to the social fabric issue, what you're saying is that the focus of the government doesn't seem to be on addressing those issues which could be a cause of concern as far as maintaining social fabric and also maintaining social harmony.
When I say what the social fabric, a church got burnt in Delhi on 1st of December. There have been some other incidents also which are not related to communal. I'm willing to concede that. But this church in Delhi was burnt on the 1st of December. Today is almost the 1st of June. What has happened? Has a single arrest been made? Then you have your ministers saying if you want to eat a particular meat, then you don't have to eat it here. You go away to Pakistan to eat it. These are irresponsible statements. Or someone else says someone will have 3 babies and 4 babies. What, So at one level you have this. So it's the basic social fabric. Then you go to the social indicators. Then you talked about jobs. Nothing has happened. You talked about black money. Nothing has happened. You talked about economic revival. What has happened? Now, a lot of the states, I can talk about my own state in Bengal, where so much of good work is happening. That's That's the story. But we're not sitting here in television studios in Delhi or running large advertising campaigns and holding up brochures saying what we've done. People are very sharp. They will vote and give them a good answer.
Okay, great. That's what Derek believes, that people are very sharp, and it's going to be for the people to decide as to whether or not the NDA government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been has lived up to the promises which were made during the election. There's still 4 years to go. As of now, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about several of the bills, very important bills, which have not yet been cleared by the Parliament, some which have been cleared with help from opposition parties such as Derek O'Brien's TMC only. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Senior leader of Trinamool Congress and party's leader in the upper house, Mr. Derek O'Brien, is still with us. Sir, let's talk about the politics inside the Parliament now, because it's inside the Parliament wherein several of the important policy decisions are taken, bills are passed, stands are taken by several political parties, stands are being changed also by different political parties. Let me begin with...
I hope you're not referring to my party, because my party has been consistent on all issues. So parties who change their stands, you'll have to ask them in an interview. I can't answer for them.
Okay, let's first talk about Coal and Mines Bill. These were two very important legislations which the NDA government had very high on their agenda. And they were objected to by several parties, including the left. There were certain technical issues which were pointed out by the Congress as well. But your party, that's the TMC, was very consistent in its support to the government on these two bills.
Yes.
What was the reason behind it?
I'll answer your question specifically on mining and coal. But let me give you one opening kind of broad view on all the bills. As far as my party is concerned, in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it is ball by ball, bill by bill.
Okay.
So we will take every bill on its merit. Now you ask me a specific question. On the mining, we had certain issues which we raised, and the big issue which we raised was, in fact, in principle, in auctioning, we are all on board. The issue which we raised is the tribal rights, the Adivasi rights, the scheduled tribe rights. We wanted that to be either included into the rules or into the main bill itself. And I'm glad we could negotiate with the government, and finally that has been included into the main bill. There was another issue on environment, without getting too technical, but it's related to environment and the closure of mines. That also was not included in the main bill, so it got included into the rules. Let me tell you, since you asked a specific question on bills, this government talks a lot about cooperative federalism. They keep going everywhere, cooperative federalism. Now, there's a distinction between what Trinamool Congress thinks and what the government thinks. We believe that just cooperative federalism won't do. You need to have operative federalism. And what's the difference? When this government has implemented operative federalism, we have supported them. Let me give you two quick examples. One example is the land boundary agreement for Bangladesh.
LBA, yeah.
LBA. There, what happened? The UPA too could have also passed this bill. It got stuck on one very major issue. The issue it got stuck is the rehabilitation package for the farmer, for the people who are being displaced. And number two is that they should have a choice of where they want to live. On these two issues and the rehab package, which was about 2,000 to 3,000 crores, whatever the figure works out to, I must say there was operative federalism and we supported this government. On GST, they have made a few baby steps. Now we are in the middle of a select committee. If they make a few baby steps, GST will also go through. On these two, there's operative federalism. But I can give you 10 more examples where they have not, they've only done talk about cooperative federalism and haven't made it operative.
Okay, now you're talking about operative federalism. You gave two examples, and maybe one of the claims which is being made by the finance minister on the floor of the House as well, and by the other leaders in the government, is that these two bills which I was talking about, that's the coal and mine bills, is going to help those states which have these natural resources garner more funds. And that is one, one point which seems to have brought regional parties, specifically those parties which are ruling in several states, be it BJD or TMC, on board. Is that one area wherein the TMC and BJP things to be thinking
See,
on the same line?
as I told you, it's ball by ball, bill by bill. So when it comes to the mining bill, I gave you the good example. When it comes to the GST, I gave you an example. But I can tell you, since this entire thing about the states, I think that's the point I want to dwell on, because they're talking about devolution of the funds.
Of the funds.
That is also a half truth. Believe me.
The 14th Finance Commission, you're saying?
Bakwas. It is bakwas. Because I'll give you some examples. Now you say the police modernization, which was originally a central scheme, that has been moved out. And now police modernization has to be done by the state. Now you tell me, an area like Darjeeling or Purulia or Paschim Mednipur in Bengal, which was Maoist infested, Darjeeling, there is another agitation happening there. So why would the state, we believe this is a national issue. Why will the state have to police or fund an issue which has a national character? Or if you take BRGF, same issue. So my challenge is, you are talking about more devolution. Here's a number I'm giving you. For Bengal, last year we received 61.87 was central funds out of every rupee. 61.87 paisa came from central funds. After this year's budget, from 61.87, it has become 62. 13 paisa up ho gaya. But they're making so much noise about it because you've taken out so many things. You've taken out National Drinking Water Scheme. You've taken out the midday meal scheme. You've taken out the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. You've taken all this out from your... so it's actually, you know, instead of saying give and give, it has actually become give and take. But I'll say one thing about this government. They know how to package their... I can't even say product, because in some cases there's no product. But the packaging
is...
But the danger of a packaging, if you go back to all the original marketing gurus, eventually if the product doesn't deliver, you know, if the rupee to dollar goes up to now 70 rupees, if the oil barrel prices go up, if all these things happen, and if there are no jobs, and if black money does not come back, and if the economy is in a mess, and if you messed up the social fabric, then you have a problem. Bihar elections in September are going to give them will be a shocker. Bengal, though, at least they've realized the reality in Bengal. They've given up because now they're not even competing for first and second. Now they're competing for third and fourth.
Okay, now those elections are a little far away, but you spoke about packaging. You're saying that their packaging is much better. Has that packaging in some way or the other appealed to the TMC? Because there were indications rather, or maybe, analysis sort of from the political analysts that Mamta Di and Narendra Modi might have got along together when it comes to center-state relations and cooperative federalism.
Firstly, the packaging did not appeal to TMC. I'm talking about packaging in relation to the people. Okay, because eventually when you get into this kind of dirty communal politics, you know, what I can eat, what I can do, look what is happening in Haryana now. Yesterday, day before yesterday, these are very serious issues, but I don't want to digress because I know you're on a specific thing. Please understand, let me make this once and for all very clear. Since I haven't been on any television channels, I'm staying away from channels. I'm glad I've come to Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, we'll take that as a compliment.
You take it as a compliment because you give people a chance to speak. Two things here. There is a relationship between a political party and another political party. Political parties like Trinamool Congress, we don't have political adversaries. We have political rivals. We have three rivals: BJP, Congress, CPM. Those are our political rivals. That's at one level. Second level is a relationship between the Chief Minister, who is the constitutional head of a state, and the Prime Minister of India. On that level, there can be another series of discussions, but please do not mix up the politics and the constitutional. So every time, you know, Mamta Banerjee, Chief Minister of Bengal, will not speak to the Prime Minister for 1 year. Then you guys will say, why isn't she speaking? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Now, when you say she starts speaking for the development, then you'll say, why is she speaking? She's getting clear. So we are very, very clear. We have absolute ideological beats. We are the other end of the spectrum when it comes to the BJP. Because we don't believe in the way they want to create. At one end, they will talk about digital India, which sounds very nice. But the real agenda is a divisive India, which we will not stand up for.
But as you said, ball by ball and bill by bill, you will
That
take
is a
the
different
situation
thing.
as and when
Now
it comes.
I'm surprised we've discussed all this. I've told you. Now you come to land.
Yes, I will come to land.
Right?
So
Land I can
what is
answer.
it? What is it?
Land is in 3 words. No. No. No.
And why is that?
Why? This is very important. In 2013, please look up the records of the Rajya Sabha, which your channel will have.
Yes.
Congress party supported the bill.
Yes.
BJP supported the bill. One political party, Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress, asked for a division on the floor of the House. We thought it was a bad bill. We voted against that bill. We voted against that bill. We thought it was a bad bill. Why we thought it was a bad bill? Because Mamata Di has fought for land original. Now these are all photocopies. All Congress, BJP.
That's what the government says. That this was a bad bill. We've improved upon it.
26-day hunger strike, Nandigram, Singur. Everybody knows all this. When the history of modern India is written, all this will be written there.
Yeah.
Now we oppose that bill. This bill is even worse than that bill. If the BJP, you can ask that. You talk about U-turns. All are the same. Congress brought the bill. BJP supported. Trinamool Congress, Mamata Banerjee said no to that bill. We are saying no to this bill. Because we are consistent, and because Mamata Di in the last so many years now has actually written what the land movement is all about. I mean, Nandigram, who's forgotten those days? Police firing, killing people. Taposhi Malik got raped in the Singur Tata plant. Where are all these people? Now they bring a bill in 2013. Now they brought another bill here. So I can tell you, in fact, that this bill will go nowhere. And both Congress, BJP, why did they support the bill?
What are the changes which might bring TMC on board if those changes are being made in the land bill? Are there going to be some changes if they are brought in, then TMC can be on board?
See, let's assume this is the land bill.
Well, I guess that's a statement in itself from the TMC.
Yes.
Okay, great. So that was it. Thank you so much.
I'm glad I did this in your studio, because if I did this sitting in the first row of Rajya Sabha, then people may have thought it was something else. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Derek. So this was the TMC leader, Derek O'Brien, the leader of the party in the upper house, in a very freewheeling conversation, very candid answers about what this government, that is the NDA government in its first year in power, might have missed doing, and what might be made out of the relation between TMC and BJP, what can be expected as far as TMC stand is concerned on several key issues, key bills such as land acquisition bill and GST. We'll come back with a different leader on a different issue. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.